Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is November the 19th, 2025. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day to ya. Hopefully you humped and didn't get humped, unless that's what you're into. If that's the case, get it. But as for me, my Wednesday was good. Better than I expected going into it. I was a bit apprehensive, a bit worried. Given how I left off yesterday and okay, we're throwing trash in the trash compactor that we shouldn't. That's not good. Oh no. But we get to work. And also mind you too, I woke up at 4:00 in the middle of the night. So I was like, oh, that's great. And I was able to get a little bit of sleep, but not enough. So I was running on extra caffeine, just a little bit wired, but also a bit tired. I'm like, I might have to take a nap and not go to the gym or stay as long. So I was a bit, already on edge. But we get to work, and overall, things are just ticking along. It's busy, but it seems like a very average, busy peak day. We can get through that. I noticed though, okay, we haven't swapped out the crusher, the composite crusher. So that might be an issue, especially because we have our holiday meal today. So I'm like, the last thing I want is to be sitting on a bunch of, gross, just rotted food. That's not going to be a good look. But luckily, before noon, Rumpke came and swapped out. So we were good to go there. So I was like, all right, perfect. Which mentioning, speaking of the holiday dinner, we can just go ahead and get to that. I say holiday dinner, holiday meal. But yeah, it was, let's see, we had mashed potatoes, we had mac and cheese, we had green beans. And with the green beans, they had some onion and some mushrooms in it. Now, I thought I was tripping. I'm like, oh shit, they got ham hocks in this motherfucker? Damn, they really cooking in this motherfucker. I was like, oh wait, that's like a mushroom. Okay, whatever, that's fine. They're still pretty good. We had a salad, we had chicken, we had brisket, and we had meatloaf. And I'm sure you're thinking, especially with this holiday, you're like, where's the turkey? What's going on here? Now, longtime listeners may remember we had an incident one time that I've talked about that was very bad with the turkey. That essentially we had gotten the turkey at the top of the day. We had all talked so much shit about this turkey. They changed how they were cooking it or the turkey they were using, whatever. And I think ever since then, we just haven't had it. I think there was maybe a time or two where we have, and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, conveniently missing is that turkey. And some of us were definitely talking shit. They're like, I can't believe you're taking the turkey out of Christmas. That's or turkey out of Thanksgiving. That's crazy. Wow. But another coworker mentioned, hey, there's actually someone who runs and picks the menu. And they remember and kind of took personally how much we hated that turkey. So they don't want to give us bad food. So they just said, let's just take it off the menu, be safe. So that makes sense. It's actually a good call when you look at it that way. That being said, missed the turkey. But, hopefully I'm going to be getting some turkey come actual Thanksgiving proper. But we'll see. Keep you posted there. But yeah, let me rate the rest of the food. I said the green beans were good. Salad was good. Mashed potatoes with the gravy was good. Also red skin mashed potatoes. So let's go. That's my favorite. It was like a white cheese mac and cheese. Pretty good. The chicken was a bit tough, but tasty. Had a good flavor profile. Brisket was a bit gummy, but I gummed it down. And then, honestly, maybe this was controversial to, the peanut gallery, but I thought the meatloaf was the MVP. Meatloaf was actually good. Oh, I also got cranberry sauce, and I got 2 rolls. I was not playing. Also, I got 2 things of 2 slices of meatloaf, 2 slices of the brisket. And then I only got the 1 piece of chicken, but I felt bad because I sniped my lead, and I'm actually cool with my lead. Like, my lead is like, actually, out of all the people I've been talking, like, I got beef, like, we're not cool, we're not friends. That's actually my friend, and like, we play like Magic the Gathering together and like eat pizza sometimes. So like, that's actually a homie. We're cool. But I felt bad. I Lord of the Flies and I piggied and I got the fucking piece of chicken. I had to do it, you know. I mean, hopefully they got theirs. I don't know. I didn't look back. But the chicken was tough but good. You know, I guess I didn't say all the reviews, but overall it was good. It was yummy. You know, I would have eaten again had I had an extra ticket. No, actually, it was like the right amount too. I'm proper stuffed. But no, post work when we went to the gym. Gym was busy but good. Got on the Smith machine, got on the free weights, got on the filler machines that I wanted to do. I think the only thing I missed was legs. I couldn't get on the leg press. But when I say I miss legs, I don't really miss legs. You know, the way my complex movements work between, you know, all my workout, like, I'm good. I hit my legs, so I'm good there. Did some cardio, got the full thing in, not just the 15 minutes today, so that felt good. So yeah, overall, a good work day, a good gym day. You know, in terms of work, I was definitely like very pleasantly surprised with how the day went. You know, I'm hoping that we're just back on track. Once again, I'm knocking on that wood. You know, I know that, you know, hitches can come, but I just want to be done with like the people problem. You know what I mean? I just want us all to be on the same page, and I think we are now, and hopefully there's not going to be any more drama, you know, but we'll see. I'll keep you posted, of course. But yeah, let's see. Let's go ahead and get into some news, of course, right after our startup. Can't forget that. All right. Our first story comes from, excuse me. Our first story comes from Al Jazeera. At least 25 killed in Russian attacks on war-torn Ukraine. At least 25 people have been killed, including 3 children and nearly 100 wounded in a barrage of Russian drone and missile attacks on Ukraine. Strikes on the city of Ternopil were the deadliest for weeks and the worst in the west of the country, far from the front line since Moscow invaded in 2022. The attack came on Wednesday as President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived in Turkey for talks on ending the war caused by Russia's full-scale invasion 2 years ago. Every brazen attack against ordinary life shows that the pressure on Russia is insufficient. Effective sanctions and assistance to Ukraine can change this, the president said in a social media post, calling for air defense missile aid from allies. Russia used more than 470 drones and 48 missiles in the attack on Ukraine, Zelensky added. The whole of Ukraine was under an air raid alert, with authorities issuing warnings to residents as explosions rocked the cities of Lviv and Ternopil. So yeah, I mean, the rest, there's more details at play here, but I did want to just highlight the story in terms of an update from, you know, the actual, you know, conflict going on. I know we've been talking a little bit about Ukrainian corruption and whatnot, but, you know, definitely with lives being lost and things like that. I wanted to highlight this strike. But yeah, moving on from one conflict, though, into another, but also from Al Jazeera. Israeli attack on Palestinian refugee camp in Lebanon kills at least 13. At least 13 people have been killed in an Israeli airstrike on a Palestinian refugee camp in southern Lebanon, according to the Lebanese Ministry of Public Health. The drone strike hit a car on Tuesday in the car park of a mosque in El Hilwe, refugee camp on the outskirts of the coastal city of Sidon, the Lebanese state-run national news agency reported. At least 4 people were wounded in the attack, the ministry said, adding that ambulances are still transporting more wounded to nearby hospitals. Israel said it struck members of the Palestinian armed group Hamas who were operating in a training compound in the refugee camp. Now, I mean, this is a very similar song and dance that we have covered in episodes prior. Essentially, they're saying, hey, we had a mosque in the area, so we just started shooting. We just started blasting. And, they don't care if, innocent women and children, men, who cares? They're just like, it doesn't matter if you're a civilian or not. We're just going to shoot at you, and we're just going to, figure that out later if we ever do. Hamas has said this was a fabrication, and that they weren't operating in training facilities in Lebanon. And I mean, hey, I'm sure you're thinking, well, there's a ceasefire. Isn't that a breach of that? But I mean, we already know that they've done this before in this specific situation, but also just taking it to Lebanon as well, since we're in the area, they've been violating that ceasefire as well. If anything, I'm surprised that Hezbollah didn't get a mention in this, in the situation. So the IDF is just like, nope, it was just Hamas. That's all. But that's enough for us to breach the ceasefire. Technically, I guess you could say 2 ceasefires. And once again, kill innocent, civilians as well. But let's see here. Israel's genocidal war on Gaza has killed at least 69,483,000 Palestinians and wounded 170,706. A total of 1,139,000 people were killed in Israel during October 7th, 2023. Hamas-led attacks and more than 200 were taken captive. So I felt like that was just a relevant number to mention. Anyway, let's move on to our next story. We're actually going to zip on over to America. From The Guardian, mass federal immigration sweeps expand to North Carolina's capital city. Federal authorities expanded their mass immigration sweeps to Raleigh, the capital city of North Carolina, on Tuesday, local authorities said, after a weekend where more than 100 people were arrested in Charlotte. Excuse me. So I kind of wanted just to use this article to kind of highlight the next expansion, the next target for ICE raids, which was North Carolina. I would have liked to have covered this sooner, but the whole Epstein situation, that update kind of bogarted a lot of the time and the space. I mean, we had a whole other boat watch situation. So, I didn't necessarily get to it. I mean, I definitely do feel like this is, once again, just a part of the Trump administration method of just flooding the zone. Like, it is just so hard to cover, talk about, even think about all the things that this administration is trying to do. So yeah, I mean, this has been going on since this weekend. I didn't necessarily have one specific story to highlight, but I was just like, hey, this is already a thing. So yeah, I'll go ahead and read some quotables here. It is the city of Raleigh's understanding that the Border Patrol and ICE are already in Raleigh, said the mayor, Janet Cowell, to local media. Though she added, city authorities did not know how many agents would be involved in the surge. She said, local police won't participate in immigration arrests. We are committed to protecting our residents and following the law, she said in a statement quoted by the Associated Press. The Democrat governor of the state, Josh Stein, a critic of the operations, posted on social media that his office was aware of reports of the impending Raleigh operations. To the people of Raleigh, he wrote, if you see something wrong, record it and report it to local law enforcement. Let's keep each other safe. Stein also criticized the Department of Homeland Security operation in Charlotte. Stop targeting people simply going about their lives because of the color of their skin, as you are doing in Charlotte, which is very true. I mean, it is also crazy that, this is something that is approved all the way up to the Supreme Court, that it's like, hey, if you just have a vibe that they might be an illegal, immigrant, illegal migrant, then you can just act accordingly. You can just scoop them up. It's okay. And once again, we're talking about a situation where, we have the law enforcement doing it here. Essentially ICE, Border Patrol, whatever you want to fucking call these people. They have masks on. They don't have badge numbers out. They don't have to tell you shit. They're currently being sued, I guess, in like California, but that's not everywhere. And, still they're allowed to go ahead and do it. And then we ask questions and, deal with the ramifications after the fact. Once again, that's already after, your family member, your person has just been snatched up, scooped up, and you don't know where they are. For potentially days. And then when you do, it's like, oh, well, maybe they're going to get deported and shipped out to, God knows where. Sorry, I have an ad that popped up. That was weird. So yeah, this is, the next stop, or the current stop, I should say, because we are in North Carolina doing shit now. I think the next stop that is rumored is New Orleans. So like, I was just like, hey, we are midway through the week. Let me go ahead and at least do this update here, talk about it. If there is any specific stories that I do wind up seeing or hearing about, then I might come back, circle the block, and we'll talk more about it, highlight that. But I mean, it's just worth doing our best. I think that part of this strategy, right, is that you just get so overwhelmed that you just throw your hands up and stop caring, right? Which to be fair, I think that was a tactic that even the Biden administration used when we were literally going through and still are going through just the conflict with Israel and Gaza. Essentially it's like, hey, don't worry about all these Palestinian people. It's just going to keep happening. And yeah, we're just going to keep approving it. But like, we're going to do our best and it's going to be okay. We're going to all get through it. It's like, no, man, like we could make some changes. And it's like, don't worry about that. No, it's okay. We're going to have a girl boss brat summer with Kamabla. Like, don't worry about it. It's okay. And it's like, no, it's just not okay. And it turns out nothing was okay. I think this administration is just good at just completely just flooding this shit out and making you feel so overwhelmed and wondering what you're going to fight next that you just go, man, let me just shove this jalapeno popper up my ass and just go to bed. Like, and that's what you do. And I understand. Look, I'm not here to chastise you for doing that, by the way. But my goal, my charge is to just not, is just to fucking keep my fucking pretty eyes open. And keep yapping about the shit. Keep calling the shit out. Keep throwing tomatoes at the shit whenever, however I can. So, I mean, that's my shit. Anyway, let's get into our next thing. I also wanted to catch up on some recalls. My random charge. My ward, if you will. From The Independent. Cheese recalled over listeria concerns. Face Rock Creamery, that's a bold name, no? Am I crazy? Like, Face Rock Creamery? Pause, no pause, unpause, play. LLC has issued a voluntary recall for its Vampire Slayer garlic cheese. What? This is a mouthful. Vampire Slayer garlic cheddar cheese. After Listeria mitococcogens, am I saying it right? Am I back? Listeria mitococcogens, I think I'm right, was discovered in the product's packaging area. Only 16 units of the affected 6-ounce cheese blocks were sold at the company's flagship store in Bandon, Oregon. They have a UPC code that I'm not reading out. It's a lot of numbers. The recalled cheese was sold between 3:30 p.m. PT on November 10th and 3:30 p.m. PT on November 13th. That is very specific. On the day, okay, I'm used to that, but they got that shit on the time. Dude, I feel like that's hey, I haven't done a shout out to tech in a while, but that's got to be tech related. I'm not saying an AI did that. I don't know if an AI cooked there, but like definitely tech was like they probably was like, "Oh, we got that down to the boop." That's when we had that bad cheese. That's when we had that steak ass vampire cheese that might kill someone. Consumers who purchase the affected product are urged to destroy it or return it to the store for a full refund, though no illnesses have been reported to date. So that's good. Also, now that I'm reading that out loud, I'm picturing someone like trying to like Lord of the Rings style like smash this cheese against like, I don't know, their countertop. Like, I think for me, my version of destroying it would be like NBA Jam styling it into the like trash can, like be gone vile cheese. That's how I would do it. Or I would try to go to the store and be like, bro, you sold me bad cheese. I don't want listeria. Give me my money. And please give me my money. Or just give me like an exchange so I can get new cheese that hopefully won't give me listeria. or salmonella in our next product. But yeah, let's go ahead and take our last break, and we will go ahead and get into a whole other product. A bit of a, do we call this a supplement? We'll establish that. But hold on, let me take my last break. Feel free to take one with me. It's always encouraged. If you're allowed, I guess. If allowed. I feel like I have to say that, so I don't get, clapped. What am I saying? I think it's actually the beauty of being very obscure. No one really knows about me, I'm under the radar, okay? A TikTok bot doesn't really even care what I have to say because I'm just so obscure and like non-relevant. Smile. All right. From USA Today. FDA recalls Moringa leaf powder products amid salmonella outbreak. I'm sorry, how you about to get fucking salmonella from some powder? That would piss me off. The Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA, announced on November 13th that more Moringa leaf powder products were added to the recall linked to an ongoing salmonella outbreak. So I'm sorry, I guess I'm late to this party, but we got salmonella in the powder. Initially, the recall included all Members Mark Super Greens, dietary supplement powder products, regardless of lot code or best by date. The recall was expanded to include some products under the Food to Live brand. It's organic Moringa leaf powder and organic Super Greens powder mix in the November 13th update from the FDA. So we're not too far behind. The FDA issued a notice on November 12th that 1 kilogram boxes of organic Moringa leaf powder sold online by Africa Imports had also been pulled due to salmonella contamination concerns. I'm noticing in this story we don't have an exact pinpointed time here. Like, once again, this is more what I'm used to, which hey, I understand. Let's see here. There's more details. I'm kind of just gonna get to the nitty gritty here. Just list off some of the product. All Members Mark Super Greens dietary supplement powder products, regardless of lot code or best by date. Food to Live organic Moringa powder in 8-ounce, 1 pound to 2 pound, or 1 pound, 2 pound, 4 pound, 8 pound, 16 pound, 44 pound bags, starting with lot codes, blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. Feel free to look that up if you want to see them. Food to Live organic Super Greens powder mix in 8-ounce, 1 pound, 1.5 pound, 3 pound, 6 pound, 12 pound bags, starting with lot codes, blah, blah, blah. Why are you guys buying so much of this goddamn powder? Organic Moringa leaf powder, 1 kilogram box, sold in Africa Imports website after 06/05/2025. So yeah, that's a whole lot of fucking matcha. I'm sorry, actually, let me correct myself already. It's not matcha, right? Like, this is just some kind of fucking leaf powder. I don't know. Is it giving matcha? Please sound off. I'm sorry if I'm yucking anyone's yum. This just doesn't seem like a thing for me. But I gotta tell y'all, and I've said this before. I feel like I've had my come to Jesus moment with the creatine stuff. I'm not really into supplements. Maybe as I get older, sure, if I talk to a doctor and they sit down and say, well, at your age, where you're at, yada, 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 maybe you need this, maybe you need that, da, 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 da. But for me, currently, especially with my budget, I do not want to waste time and money consuming these kind of things. By all means, though, if you have a specific reason for ingesting and wanting to take these things, go for it. And maybe you just like it. Maybe this is your thing. Maybe this super green stuff, and you like it, the grass. But by all means, tell me why you like it. I would love to be put on. Maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe I'm missing the forest for the greens. So let me know. Sound off, please. But also, if you got any of the shit, throw it out. Destroy it. Mash it up. Or get your return. Because I don't want to see you get salmonella. Okay? No, I want to see you back for another episode. No, no, but please be well. I feel like getting fucked up off of something like this would be like, it's a cruel irony, no? Anyway, that's it. That's all I really have for today. That is the episode for tonight. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/IsaiahNews. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow on TikTok. Follow on Spotify. Follow on Apple Podcasts, wherever you'd like to listen. Let's see here. Leave a like. Leave a comment. A cool comment, please. Something nice or insightful or whatever. Tell me about your day. Just something solid. I'd like that. But if not, that's okay. That's all right. Sharing is caring. You don't have to do that either. But it's always cool if you do. 5 stars on Spotify. 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. That's all I want. None of that 4-star, 3-star shit. Okay, you gotta treat me like I'm Micro Center. Treat me like I'm GameStop. Peak GameStop. Okay, I'm gonna give you so much money on a trade-in. Just please give me 5-star reviews. Please. But no, it's no biggie. I just appreciate you vibing with me. If you're a lurker, if you're just a clicker and you're just here for the 1 minute you never even hear this, thank you. I love you. I hope you feel the love, you feel the vibe. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.